How are you doing? This is Martin from Gardens for Life. In this quick video I'm going to show you how to make your own pallet shed with very little money, and it's for drying wood. I know it's not really a gardening related topic, but we like to show our audience some of our homesteading projects too. Hopefully some of them will benefit you, and you can build them for yourself too. You know yourself, with infrastructure you just need to build it once and you have it there, basically for the project's lifetime. No fancy time lapses in this one, it's just going to be a basic video, but a lot of you guys were interested when I posted some pictures back a couple of months ago. Sorry, I just didn't get a chance to edit the video or even finish it until now. Just been so busy packing orders and sending out tubers and cuttings. And thanks guys for your support. I'll just give you a quick overview before I show you some of the build videos. So first we started with the corner and we put down these blue pallets on the ground. They're treated so that they don't soak up the water from the bottom, and we made sure that we have a fair old overhang here, a 2-foot overhang, as you can see, so that the water stays well away from the edges on the sides, and we don't even need a gutter, so we saved a little bit of money there too. And this is just standard greenhouse plastic, 800 gauge, which cost probably about, I think it was about 60 euro or something like that for this size of sheet. And it's absolutely perfect. I mean, we haven't really finished it yet. This is temporary. We're going to probably just fold it down instead of making an overhang on this side. We probably won't bother doing an overhang on the sides because it's not really convenient in the space that it's in. But I would highly recommend doing an overhang if you have the option. But we're just trying to keep it simple, and we did this project just as a little side project on 2 weekends. As you can see, so the sides, you can see the pallets here are fastened with screws to one another. All the pallets all around here, all around the outside, are stood up on their side so that we get a bit of extra height, so that we're able to actually walk in and not actually hit our head off the rafters here. So and we're also able to kind of get in at the wood here, rather than having this even lower, and it wouldn't be convenient, and you wouldn't be able to store a huge amount of wood as well. But in this shed now, I believe we can store probably about 4 cubic meters of wood, maybe even 5. And you can see we have some old wood here too. This is actually 2 years old now. Some hawthorn, and this is actually ivy, believe it or not. It's actually an ivy tree, or sorry, an ivy vine, I should say, grown up a hawthorn tree. You can see the ivy is nearly bigger than the tree itself. And we mostly cut pallet wood, like these are the fillets as I call them, and we split those with a hatchet and yeah, start the fire with those, and that'll be our kindling. And then we use these bigger bits of wood just to keep the fire going. We also have turf as well. So you can see here, what's really important is that you use, please don't burn treated pallets. Only untreated timber like that. So we just basically cut a notch in here. I don't know, it's called a bird's mouth, and it's 45 degrees, just keeping it really simple. And we're cut it here 45 degrees too. Now if we had it, we would have used, these are 4x2s for the rafters, as you can see. So we used 4 lengths of 4x2s, and you can see here in the top you're going to need a 6x2 to go across. That would make it much stronger, but before the plastic went on you could actually move it, and now it's impossible. It's really stable now when the plastic went on. And there's no problem with condensation at that kind of incline. 45 degrees is enough for the water to actually run down rather than just drip down. So it's ideal really, and you get the best of both worlds because the sun is actually warming up the shed, and it's also drying because there's a lot of airflow straight through. And we're not putting in a door. Now granted, if it does rain from the north side, which is this side here, it might be a little bit of a problem because some of it is a little bit exposed here, but it hasn't been a problem so far, and we're going to fold down the sides like this, so it'll be okay. So for us the main idea was really to just have another fuel shed, which is actually our third fuel shed, just to dry things, just to put fresh or wet wood, especially pallet wood if it's wet, just to let it dry off for about maybe 3 or 4 months, especially during the winter, and not put it on top of our dry stuff so that we still have access to all of our dry wood. So this shed is about 360 by 240 in meters, or what's that in feet? 12 by 8 feet, and it's pretty much the ideal size for the space that we had here. I would have liked to make it another one little bit longer, but we were actually running out of space. We were very close to the trees there, but therefore it's actually quite sheltered, so it doesn't get battered by the wind. But you can see it is pretty good. The water getting anywhere near those pallets here, so they last quite a long time, I believe. So a couple of quick tips. You don't really need it as wide in the front. You could have had this wood coming out to here, but I like being able to walk in comfortably, and then having it go narrower towards the end. Especially when you have a lot of wood in here, you can stack it way up to here, and it'll be a bit of weight pushing against this barrier here when the wood is when it's all full of wood. So you do need a support. One support is plenty. And the idea is that we left the back of it open so you can actually walk in here and pick things up very easily from down here without having to bend way over from over here into the corner. You wouldn't be able to reach it. You just want to make sure that it's very convenient and handy so that you don't have to overreach and break your back or even injure something. And on the inside we fastened each of the pallets in 2 spots, halfway down and on the top, just with 2 large screws and just a little bit of pallet wood. You can see here, there's another one. Sometimes there's more screws, sometimes not. You can see it here again. So that's about all there is to it really. I mean, it's really simple. Up here we just should have used a 6x2 so that there is more stability, but we didn't have one at hand at the time. And these are just a 4x2 that are cut also at a 45 degree angle and just let down a little bit so that there is no sharp edges rubbing off the plastic. And of course in the top you have to make sure the same. You need to keep it below the top ridge bar so that there is no sharp edges breaking the plastic slowly over time. And yeah, so this actually is keeping it stable, and it's been fine through the last couple of storms. So we got 4 pallets down on the ground so far, and we have 2 more over here that we're going to put on this side, and we've started moving some of the wood already, which seems to do a pretty good job at stabilizing it. So all the corners will be done like that at a right angle, and it's fairly stable. It'll certainly weigh it down too for the wind. A roof rack would be real nice. I must get one. So we got more pallets. These are all the same size, but they are actually a little bit less wide than the rest of them. They're only 80 centimeters, so we're actually going to have to do a half pallet at the end. That's okay though, because they look nice, very uniform, and we're able to use them in the middle for a barrier too, to put the wood in here. And it's a good height to be able to reach in right down to the bottom as well. So this is day 2. It was really windy earlier on, and it kept blowing the plastic away as we're trying to protect our wood from the rain. So let's take that off for a minute. So we have our third wood shed almost ready to go. We're probably halfway through, and we are only about 2.5 days into it at the moment. We've had to move all of this wood. All this wood here was actually just behind me here, and we've had to move it all in here because it was in the way. So we've decided to actually leave the end of the pathway here in the middle open. I'm going to leave that open so you can actually walk in here. It'll all make a lot more sense later on. So let's do the last few walls here and get it done. Now that's the frame for the roof completed. We're going to remove this temporary cover, and we're going to put on this greenhouse plastic, or polydome plastic, which is about 800 gauge, and hopefully we'll have enough left over to do our other little lean-to shed here too. Alright, so you can see here we've sent 2 big long screws through here and a 6-inch nail straight into here. So that should hopefully do it, and we'll see. We might just try and stabilize it sideways a little bit, because there is a little bit of give on that side, but this way it is very stable. I like the way you're able to actually walk in all the way. What we're going to do though is we're going to have to put in some stabilizers from here to the other side, just to make sure that it doesn't actually lean over with the weight of the wood. You can see here. So that's basically all there is to it, and if you have any questions, please let us know in the comments below. Thanks a million for watching, and please give us a thumbs up and watch our other videos and take a look at our shop if you want to support us. We've got lots of different tubers, plants and cuttings available on our online shop. Thanks a million. All the best. Bye bye.